Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning,
Hey.
good morning. We just had a long Memorial Day weekend, and I would love to know how everyone's day off was. I want to start with Al. I think you had a really important weekend.
I had a great weekend. I mean, it was yes, it was important, but it was full of love. My favorite person in the world, my nephew, who I remember getting the phone call that he was born in college, got married this weekend to the love of his life, and you know, my whole family was able to come together for the first time post-COVID. And my mom got a chance to get a picture with her 3 kids all in the same room for the first time ever in her life. So it was just like a complete coming of, it just like really completed the circle really of her life and a part of mine as well. So it was a great weekend.
How's Montez?
Montez is great. All right. Montez is great. He was, I mean, a gentleman, Southern. Wait till you meet him.
I can't
a true
wait.
Southern gentleman. So
Oh, wow.
that's me and my kids, and that's non-alcoholic champagne, and that's my mom and her 3 kids up there.
That's beautiful,
And
man.
that's a picture of Ford looking at a cupcake. I told him to look at me, and he's still looking at the cupcake because he's like,
He has
okay, am I
priorities.
done here? Yeah.
So that picture's all 3 of you
Yeah.
the first time ever. In that
First
one.
time ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was quite
That's so awesome.
Congratulations.
I mean, I never would have thought this would have happened in a million years. So this is like a real life dream come true. Really, truly.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was
Erica,
awesome.
what about you? What did you do?
I was off the grid. Well, I would say I'm off the grid. Tori came over at one point. I just hung out at home.
You need to work on that grid.
I wasn't the only one.
Yeah, we were just at home. Anthony pretty much grilled all day, every day. That was pretty much, yeah, it was pretty low-key.
Just say a perfect weekend.
It was a perfect low-key
It was
weekend.
awesome.
Yes.
She's such a wonderful
Jeff, did you get on that grill, man?
Just grill,
Fish?
swimming, drinking, everything.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, use your imagination. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
And
We're like,
kids
okay.
had fun?
Of course.
Yeah.
The pool opened in our neighborhood for the first time, so it was just a crazy kid weekend. The weather actually held out here in Denver because you never know. It's like clouds coming in and then you
Right.
get sun, back in the pool, out of the pool, barbecue, but just a great weekend overall. How about you, Tori?
I went to Netherland with the dogs and had a lovely hike. They're seniors and I'm lazy, so it was a small little hike. But then I went to a friend's house and hung out by the pool. But yeah, we went to the creek, and that's me with the popsicle for Memorial Day.
I like that you do the same things at home that you would like anywhere. You
Yeah, I
cross
go to
for a
mountain
puzzle
towns.
with the dogs.
Oh, yeah, of course. We also want to find out that many things Americans did this weekend.
We should have had Al go last, just for the record.
I was told Al goes first, for sure. They went and saw Disney's live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. Did you go see it? Well, the film won the box office, taking in $121 million in its opening weekend. But reviews of the film are mixed, with some critics slamming it for lacking creativity and fun. Meantime, some people are calling out the film for its message to young girls, including British singer Paloma Faith. She posted this to Instagram saying, quote, "I don't want my kids to think it's okay to give up your entire voice and your powers to love a man. Not what I want to be teaching the next generation of women at all." What do we think of the plot of The Little Mermaid? Is it problematic in today's world? Erica, do you think the film teaches that to young girls?
I think we knew that going in, Paloma.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what the movie's about, and
Right.
obviously some changes were made in order to make it less problematic. But I also have heard from people who had other ideas of what this movie is really showing young people, or just anyone going, like in terms of, it wasn't just that she gave up her voice for this man. She was also giving up this lifestyle in hopes of a better lifestyle.
That's
and like being on land.
Right.
She didn't want to be in the water
Up where they walk.
so I mean, it's always interesting to me. Like, there's always going to be an issue with everything, clearly. That's just how our world works. But to call out that part of the movie, it's like, are you not aware of The Little Mermaid? This is not brand new.
No. It's goes a long way back, like Hans Christian Andersen.
I'm always wondering, did anybody find out what 8-year-olds thought about this movie? It's always people from the New York Times chiming in from their Mercedes-Benz. Can we leave some stuff for the kids, Jeff? Can they just have fun without dissecting Transformers as really an allegory to something?
Christianity.
Yeah, something happened in 1820. like, I just want kids. They've already dealt with COVID and did the school. Like, can they have 2.5 hours to pretend that they're a mermaid and have fun? And then as soon as they walk out, you start tweeting at them and ruin the rest of their day.
Yeah.
You can have that, but can they have 2.5 hours before they start before we start looking for inconsistencies in a mermaid that talk movies?
I was just thinking the same thing. I had such a great weekend. It was a long weekend, and I didn't look at any stories. And I come back and I'm like, someone's complaining about The Little Mermaid. It's like, did you go out this weekend? Did you have fun at the pool?
No.
Did you hate yourself that much that you're like, I want to go see The Little Mermaid, and I hate my life.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with you, man? Have some popcorn, relax.
Just
go
chill
have
out.
some fun. But it's like Erica said, we don't cover it. People write these things so they get attention because they probably don't have attention in their real life, right? So they have to judge it's ridiculous. Now let's judge Jewel about her national anthem.
Yeah, right. We're going to move on to judging.
Transitions. I don't know. Just go to this.
I will say,
Let's judge somebody else. Oh, we are out of time.
Yeah, no.
We were supposed to judge somebody else. I'm
we're
sorry.
doing that in the next segment, so don't worry about
okay.
that. I just want to say, I don't have any problem with the story itself. I just don't like, and tell me if I'm wrong, an animation that becomes live action and tries to be too natural when the animation was what made it fun. So I've heard it's a little too lifelike. Like Flounder, you know how he looks like a real fish?
Right.
You sort of want that animation part, so I wonder if that's going to be hard
you grew
for
up
me.
with cartoons. They didn't have that technology. So like when you're looking at The Little Mermaid, you're looking at it from what young Tori saw and wanted. And I think it's hard for us to understand that like the world that these kids have grown up in, they've seen more live action. They've seen technology look a lot better. Throw on like Super Mario Brothers for your kids and they'll try and fight you if you see the ones that we played with. If you look at Super Mario Brothers now or like any kind of game on PS5, it looks like the real people.
I just wish they would keep cartoons sometimes. That's all.
All right.
Okay.
All right. See you at the New York Times.
Okay. Coming up on DBL. That was way harsh, Ty. Our interview with actress and singer, oh my gosh, Vanessa Williams. She's telling us all about being a judge on the drag competition Queen of the Universe. And as Jeff said, Jewel's rendition of the national anthem, it got some mixed reviews. Is changing the melody disrespectful? DBL. This show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm going to have a conversation about what's happening now.
You look like a disappointed tourist,
No,
doesn't she?
do you know, Jeff?
She looks like a disappointed tourist.
Doesn't Taylor look like
Doesn't she
the
look like
girl
that, Jeff?
in the Great Outdoors that he liked?
No, she's sad.
Remember how she? Oh yeah.
Bad.
No, it's good.
Disappointed tourist is good.
No, don't listen to Tori. You look cute.
On camera and then go up and down.
I know. I felt weird about that whole situation. I'm so sorry. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend.
You did? What'd you do, Tay-Tay?
I sat at a pool for like 8 hours yesterday.
There's something about a pool, isn't there?
It's amazing.
I can't, but I mean, I don't think black
you a-
men are used to laying out because that's not a thing.
I see.
But I mean, a lot of black dudes I know when we were younger, went to the beach to patrol, you know, and look for the ladies. But I lived in Miami, and I stayed inland.
If you had to do beach or pool.
Ooh. I think the pool, the sand and
What's
everything.
wrong with the sand?
It's hot, and then you're like, oh, you get back to the towel, and you're like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then you gotta walk back through that burning hot sand. I'm like, what is this, a proverb? I don't want to do this.
Like 80s.
Yeah.
It's like the underworld.
Yeah.
Had sandals, dude. I think you could find some.
I was like, leave them somewhere, wherever.
Jesus had
I'm always gonna
sandals.
leave the sandals somewhere.
It is sometimes it's quite. I would always go beach more than pool, but I went in a pool that was unheated this Memorial Day, and it was like 60 at my friend's house, and I still just did it chattering. I still want to get in that pool. Doesn't matter.
Really?
I'll get in.
You like an ice cold pool?
I don't care. It's just water. I don't live near any water anymore.
I've
You know
never
what I
known
mean?
you to be a swimmer.
I can stand. I just stood.
Cool.
Welcome back. The Indianapolis 400. Nope, let's say that again. The Indianapolis 500 was this weekend. So sorry. And Jewel sang the national anthem, but she had her own take on the Star Spangled Banner.
Prices, you know.
That left a lot of folks upset. So let's watch together. You can decide what you think. We'll talk about it. Let's all just take a look.
Oh, say, can you see?
I love that. Lots of people online were very quick to criticize. One person wrote, quote, "For the love of God, just sing the national anthem as it's meant to be sung. Don't put your own spin on it. Sacrilegious."
Says the person with a Canadian flag, an Italian flag, and the Greek flag as their
Good
thing.
catch. Another person said Jewel butchered the national anthem. People were trying to sing along but couldn't because of the way she sang it. Again, I just want to go ahead, Erica.
I thought it sounded great. And also, people who are complaining about not being able to sing along, nobody asked you. They asked Jewel. I'm sorry. Sing it, be patriotic, whatever. But they asked her to sing it. Right. I don't see anything wrong with the way that she sang it. Now, we have seen examples or heard examples of people kind of making their own spin, but this didn't seem like an egregious
at all.
To me, it didn't seem egregious.
I really liked it. I thought it was if I was ever, that's not a song that you would listen to in your car, really. But if I was going to choose a version, I liked that. It was kind of acoustic and smooth, and just I really liked it. I know she's been on the show, but we've talked about people that if I didn't like it, you know me, I'd say
for sure.
Yeah.
Jeff, what did you think?
I loved it. I liked it. Listen, we expect artists not to do what they do.
Yeah.
Put your own spin on it. Do your own thing, right? I get tradition, but it's you're not butchering the song. You're not ripping up the Pope at the end of it. You know what I mean? Saturday Night Live reference.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's just you're putting your own spin on it. Didn't you have a good weekend?
Did you have a good weekend? You're just going to keep going back to that.
It's come on, man.
I know.
And
the context of that song, just so you know, is Francis Scott Key was watching the flags billowing in the dawn's early light. It's not a problem for me that poem that he wrote was said in sort of a quiet morning, dawn kind of translucent way. That's probably the way it was sort of in his head. I thought it was hauntingly beautiful.
I was ready to apologize to Jewel because, she's been on the show a couple times and she's lovely. Because I was ready to be like, oh, Lord, somebody done butchered the national anthem. Now we all got it. But that wasn't,
no,
I don't understand.
I liked it. I thought that was good.
It's the same way Macy Gray gets it every time that she sings the national anthem. Macy Gray, we like her because her voice doesn't sound like everybody else's voice.
Right.
And because of that, we expect some people to not like it, but that's why she's popular. She's got a different spin on it. She's got a different spin on the national anthem. Let people do their thing.
Do you guys, do you sing along usually to the national anthem, or do you keep quiet?
No, I'm talking to my friends usually.
No.
That was a joke.
That was a joke. No, I don't sing. You really go to a baseball game and sing along?
Yes, yeah, especially at the Orioles or whatever. But I also think I have a good voice when I don't.
Orioles?
Yeah, Baltimore Orioles. Those are my home team. Goes.
When's the last time you've been to a game?
20-something years.
Who's on the team this year?
His name is
Don't you have the
Billy
Nationals?
Baseball. Yeah, but it was after I left. Do you see what I'm
really?
saying? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Cal Ripken Jr., Billy Ripken fan. That's the kind of guy or girl I am.
Those guys are in their early 60s.
Do you know anybody not in that family that played for the Orioles?
I'm Dad Ripken, Mama Ripken. That's all I know. Coming up on DBL, we are talking with the fabulous Vanessa
Somebody
Williams.
look up how old Cal Ripken is.
Junior.
Joe DiMaggio was out there.
Mickey Mantle, the Babe. We're talking to Vanessa Williams all about judging the drag singing contest, Queen of the Universe. Stay tuned for that.
There is nothing I like better than finding a great deal on travel. And it turns out I'm not alone. Verify viewer Catherine emailed us to ask, is there a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket? So Catherine, let's verify. Our sources are Scott's Cheap Flights, a study by cheapair.com, and Brett Snyder, president of Cranky Concierge Travel Assistance and a former airline pricing analyst. Some studies suggest Tuesday or Saturdays are the cheapest days to buy tickets, but all of our sources say they usually rely on flawed or outdated data. For example, Some articles suggest that weekends are the cheapest days to buy. Snyder points out that's based on data that tracks the average amount spent on a ticket each day of the week. Families tend to buy their tickets on weekends and usually purchase less expensive tickets. Meanwhile, business travelers tend to buy their tickets during the week, and many are less price sensitive.
A lot of the business travel, premium cabin or even last minute or whatever it might be, those tend to be higher fares.
The end result is a study that has skewed data. Similar articles suggest Tuesdays offer the best deals, but our sources say that's also not the case. Scott's Cheap Flights explains on its site that this idea is a holdover from the 1990s when airlines used to upload special e-fares on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. These days, Snyder says airlines use sophisticated algorithms to consistently adjust fares based on demand, regardless of what day of the week it is.
This hasn't existed for years. I couldn't tell you the last time when those actually were out there in the market.
So we can verify, no, there is not a certain day of the week that's cheapest to buy a plane ticket. So when should you book? Cheapair.com found domestic tickets are generally cheapest 3 to 15 weeks before departure. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Let the drag extravaganza begin!
The Queen of the Universe.
The world's first ever vocal drag competition is bigger than ever. It's an all-new season of Queen of the Universe.
Time to spice up the competition. Are you ready for your life to change?
Ooh, welcome back to DBL. That was a clip from season 2 of Queen of the Universe. And earlier we spoke with one of its judges, the multi-talented Vanessa Williams. Take a look.
Oh my goodness, she is a Tony, Grammy, and Emmy nominated actress and singer. Please welcome to DBL, Vanessa Williams.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Vanessa, let's jump right in. You look beautiful. I have to point that out. I'm a little nervous. Let's talk about Queen of the Universe. Not you, the show. The costumes, makeup, and dancing are over the top. So what is the craziest thing to happen backstage so far?
So Queen of the Universe, this is season 2 on Paramount Plus, and it is a drag queen singing competition that is live. So there is no lip syncing. This is all live singing. The drag is out of this world. There are some costumes and some bodies and some faces that are incredible. And there's also some heartwarming moments. There's a couple of moments where you'll see family members get a chance to interact with the queens that are in competition. And it shows the humanity and the acceptance and the support that is behind the scenes for this spectacular moment. It's great to be a judge. I get a chance to sit back and watch all the festivities.
Yes, we live for fabulous queens, yourself included. Now, but this is a global show. But are other countries more accepting of drag than America? And where does our country rank in the world of acceptance when it comes to drag?
Good question.
Good question. There are some that are more severe that, especially we've heard on our when we did season 1, there was a queen from India, and she said, it is a danger in my country to do what I love to do. So that was a heartbreaking story. And then there's also ones that are celebrated. We've got one queen from Australia, and it is an art form that has been celebrated for years, and it is wonderful. So in terms of where we are as a country, yeah, we've got some issues right now. Letting our drag be an art form. It is an art form. It is not predatory. These are queens that have made a life and career out of transformation and bringing joy.
I love that you said that, because I was going to follow up and ask why America needs this type of show right now. And I think you absolutely said it all, because it's also about the safety of our performers and how much we, some of us, everyone on this panel, wants to protect that. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And it's showbiz. They're singing their hearts out. They're wearing amazing clothing, doing incredible choreography with dancers around them, and it's for production value. We're putting on a show so the whole family can enjoy it.
All right, well, let's stay on the track of showbiz. Now, we read that there's a limited series about your Miss America scandal that's possibly in the works. First of all, is that true? And what is the biggest misconception about your story?
Well, the idea is true. We are getting the team together. So there's, I don't have a release date, but it is in motion. Probably the biggest misconception, I think, is that, I was a musical theater major before I became famous. And what beauty queen labels tend to do is negate any kind of talent you have or intellect. So it took me longer to actually show who I was when people would accept me than normally if I had just graduated from university, went to graduate school, went to Broadway. There would have been none of the skepticism that I had to barrel through, which took a long, long time.
That is powerful.
I think you showed them.
I think so too. Yes.
Well done.
DBL Nation, season 2 of Queen of the Universe premieres June 2nd on Paramount Plus. Vanessa, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Congratulations on everything. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Sunshine on a cloudy day sure sounds nice, but might not feel so great. Let's verify. Are UV rays stronger on cloudy days? We checked with several sources and found out the answer depends on some specific cloud conditions. A dark day will, of course, block out some sunshine, but our research all concludes many of those skin-damaging rays can still filter through.
Around 80% of the sun rays can penetrate through the clouds.
And some clouds could be worse than none at all. We looked at several studies showing a phenomenon, sometimes called the broken cloud effect, can actually cause the sun's light to reflect and bounce around more intensely. The University of Washington cites research showing UV rays enhanced by 25% on a partly cloudy day compared to a sunny day. If it's a cloudy day on the water, even more reason to lather up. According to the National Council on Skin Cancer Prevention, light bouncing off water and sand can effectively double UV exposure. But the reason for your cloudy day sunburn might be less meteorological and more mental. As in, experts say people often aren't thinking of applying or reapplying sunscreen when they aren't feeling bright, direct rays. Windy days can also cool the skin, and the Skin Cancer Foundation warns can make you more likely to blow off sunscreen.
You're still getting sun exposure and sun damage.
With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Pool season is right around the corner, and as parents are getting their kids ready to splash in the pool, we wanted to know, are brighter colored swimsuits easier to spot if your kid goes underwater? Let's verify. Our source is a watercolor study from Alive Solutions and Allie Gaines with Charlotte Aquatics. According to Alive Solutions, bright and contrasting colors are easier to see underwater. This is important because if your kid goes underwater for a long period of time, you'll want to easily spot them. The Alive Solutions color test shows some examples. In this series of photos, fabric colors such as bright reds, pinks, blues, and greens show up better when compared to fabrics such as light blue, light gray, black, and white. As you can see, the colors white and light blue basically disappear when underwater. Gaines says drownings are so prevalent in children under the age of 4. She confirms kids should be wearing brightly colored swimsuits.
Neon colors are much better. They're easier to spot in the water.
Gaines says while picking out the perfect swimsuit color is important for parents, it's only a secondary measure for preventing accidents in pools.
If you're not actually watching the water, if you're not actually watching your kids, it's really not going to do very good.
Gaines also suggests putting your kids in swim lessons at an early age to help get them used to being around the water.
So swim lessons are always going to be your number one way to keep your kids safe around the water, best way to prevent drowning. Formal swim lessons actually reduce the risk of drowning by 88%.
So we can verify that yes, brighter colored swimsuits are easier to spot if your kid goes underwater. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
Welcome back. We got some amazing products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hi Tori, hey DBL Nation. I am so excited to show off the deals today. As ever, they're fabulous. Get ready to shop because you're going to fall in love with this. First up today, we've got the Adagio Air Straightening Brush. So this deal includes one straightening brush that will simplify your hair routine. This hair tool will dry and style your hair at the same time. It has 3 temperature settings and 2 speed settings to work for all hair types. So normally this is $300.
Ooh.
You're not going to believe this price. We've got it for just $33.99. So that's saving 89%.
What?
Next up today, we've got the Conair Sonic Vibration Facial Cleansing Device. Nice. So this doorbuster deal includes 1 brush base and charging stand and 2 facial brushes. Normally this is $80, but we've got it for just $10. So that's saving you guys 88%. Now, if you're a whiz in the kitchen, which I'm definitely not, but it's going to make me look like I am, we've got the Ginsu Kiso 6-piece steak knife set.
Look at that.
So this deal includes 6 steak knives available in black or purple.
Whoa.
So normally this is $25, Tori.
Oh, okay.
So we have got this 6-piece set for just $12.99. So that is saving 48%. Now, our last product today is the Truman's Gentleman's Groomer's 4-piece hair care kit. This deal includes 2 men's hair styling control pastes and 2 moisturizing shampoos. This is $88.
Oh, I was wondering. I'm like, I bet this is pricey.
We've got it for just $24.99.
Never mind.
So that's saving up to 72%.
Head on over to morningsaves.com to snag all these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or as you know, you can scan the QR code right on screen. It will take you directly to these products right on Morning Save's website. Couldn't be easier. Thank you so much, Steph. Before we go, we got one more story for you. Thousands of believers have flocked to a church in Missouri to witness what some are calling a miracle. Now, they're lining up to see Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster, who died 4 years ago at the age of 95. Her body was exhumed due to new construction, and believe it or not, it showed nearly no signs of decomposition. She wasn't embalmed, she was in a pine box, and they are now covering her in wax to protect her and maybe looking at sainthood.
Wow. All right. Now, Jeff, we had a story like this a couple weeks ago. Like, how big is this? What do you think about sainthood?
I don't know. I thought Bieber was going to be there. He said believers. That was a bad joke. I shouldn't. Yeah, but I don't know. There's certain miracles. People believe in things like this. Like I said, I make jokes about it, but like if people see like Jesus in a piece of fruit, they shut down their house. That's where I grew up. I know it sounds crazy, but when something like this happens, believers get in line because they feel like the Lord is doing his work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Shout out.
All right, Missouri. DBL is new every day. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.